Yo, check it out. I found Expo 97 Rogue at retail. Yes, if you're not aware, Hasbro is doing re-releases of this line. So if you're lucky enough to find them on the shelves, great. So let's take a look at the packaging. It's done with this nice, vibrant colors, has the Expo 97 logo on the top, along with the rendering of the characters and one big shot of the character that would be in the packaging, in this case Rogue, right there on the side. Very nice artwork, I think. It's done in that cartoon style, which I think is great. And then on the bottom it says Marvel's Rogue. And like looking at the figure in the package, doesn't come with too much, just another set of hands, which is fine. And on the back, there's a rendering right there of the character. This is not a photograph, it is a CG rendering. Marvel Legends on the side, and then a roster of characters that you can get. Magneto, Wolverine, Rogue, Storm, Bishop, and Gambit. So there's the packaging. I think it looks pretty good. I do like the light, vibrant colors they use. But enough of that. Let's just open it up. Okay, so normally I do a segment of accessories, and then I talk about the figure itself, and then I do articulation. But Rogue comes with so few accessories. I'm just going to dive right in. Outside of the box, she has like this glove holding hand and a gloved hand. So I guess technically she comes with two right gloves out of the package, but one of the accessories she comes with is this opened, ungloved hand. So, you know, if you want to do something like this, you can just take the glove off, and then this little yellow cuff piece is technically a part of the glove, so that should come off as well. And then you can replace it with this bare hand for this kind of splayed out look for if she's gonna touch you. She's gonna touch you, don't let her touch you, she's gonna take your powers. So that's one of the accessories she comes with. And then if you don't want her holding this other glove, you can take this one off. And you can see it pops right off. And then in this case, I would leave this little part of the glove on. And you can place it with this fisty hand so she can touch you and then fist you. So my preferred method of displaying her would be having two gloved, fisted hands in. So those are the few accessories she comes with. So let's just dive into the figure itself. Okay, so looking at the figure, this is probably the third iteration of this type of Rogue that Hasbro has done, I think. I might be wrong about that, but there's an original one, and there's a classic one, and then now there's this 97 version. And they all share a lot of the same design traits, but they also share some of the same pieces. And this Rogue actually has the same arms as the other two, and I think the same torso, although the legs are different, and obviously the head is different, and so is the chest area. The jacket part is also different. I actually do prefer this jacket to the other ones, and I actually do like this face print they have on there. It looks really good. You can really make out like the makeup and detail and stuff. And also one thing that I think this Rogue does a lot better than the other two are the legs. On the other ones, they have, like, for whatever reason, these ring pieces are separate. I have the classic one out. I'll show you that in a bit. I don't know why they did that. It doesn't work. It sucks for displays and, you know, playability and photography and stuff like that. So the fact that they just molded this all in one piece gets my thumbs up. The only thing I don't like about this Rogue and why I passed on her originally was actually the hair. I don't like the way they did the hair. It just looks like, I don't know, it just looks unnatural to me. I guess it kind of fits with the cartoon aesthetic of the figure and like the themes, but it just looks like two separate chunks of pieces, which is what it is, but it's very apparent with how few detail is in the hair. So let's actually do something a little different for what I normally do. Let's do a comparison of the two Rogues. So this is the Classics Rogue. I have the other one. This one, in my opinion, is a lot better. I think a lot of other people share that sentiment. But you can see the hair on this one is also done in 2 chunks, but because it has a lot more detail in it, it's not as noticeable as this. Like this looks like 2 pieces of hair, like 2 different, like she has a wig on over her normal hair. That's what it kind of looks like to me. But the faces are both great on both of these, so that all depends on your own preference. And you can see how the jacket is different on this one, and it does have like kind of ridges. The belt is also different. I forgot to point that out. This one has little pouches on it, but you can see the torso is the same. And here you can see the arms are the same. Just one has a brown jacket and one has a green jacket. I also think maybe I like this one more because it is a green jacket and green is my favorite color. But also, like this part on the inside of this rogue, you can kind of see it here. It's yellow and does show through on this part of the jacket, whereas this one is painted green on the inside. So it doesn't stick out at all. Like it looks a lot more seamless. And then you can see the difference of this. I hate this. I hate that they did this. Like this piece is different and this piece is different. And then this one seems to be staying on pretty good. But this one just kind of flops around and like it I don't know, it looks like something that Jetsons would wear. Like, yeah, get out of here. I do really like that rogue though, actually. But I just hate that part of it. So yeah, that's kind of my breakdown of the figure and a little comparison. Now let's get into articulation. Okay, before I get into the articulation, I just wanted to point out really quickly that I kept referring to this rogue as the classic rogue when it's the vintage rogue. Classics is what MOTU and the TMNT line call their older kind of re-envisioned line of toys. I get those two mixed up from time to time, so I just want to make that correction. Correction amended. Let's move on. Looking at her articulation, her head is on a ball joint, and at the base of that ball joint of her neck does have a little hinge right there, so she can look down quite a bit and up quite a bit, and she can also rock her head side to side, and surprisingly, her hair does not get in the way of her head movement very much at all. Her arms, her shoulders do have that hinge swivel, so she can move all the way around, come out. She does not have double jointed elbows though, which is a shame, but it does move a little bit past 90, which I think is great. And she has that little swivel right there. Her wrists are much the same, has that hinge there, and can go all the way around. Now her torso only has one ball joint here, so there's no ab crunch at all, but she does allow for movement side to side, a little bit forward, not a lot, and then a little bit more going back, and she can go all the way around without any hindrance at all. And her legs, she does have that ball joint right there, along with the little swivel joint right there on the thigh cut. She can't do the splits too much, and she can go forward all the way and back just a little bit. And she does have double jointed knees, which is great. And her ankles are jointed with the hinge and the rocker. So it's kind of the bog standard for Marvel Legends, not too much, not too little, just enough for you to get her into some pretty nice action poses. And here we are with our size comparison lineup with the unusual suspects to give you an idea of how she'll fit in with other lines. But to get a more accurate reading, we got to get the tape measure to see that she's at about exactly 6 inches tall. So that'll give you a better idea of how she will fit into your toy collection. And now it's recommendation time. Do I recommend this rogue? Okay, look, I'm going to be honest. When this first came out, I passed on it because I like the vintage rogue a lot more than this one. So I just said, I don't need another rogue. But then the scalpers got to her and scalped her to hell. So my advice to you is if you see her on the shelf, pick her up, add her to your collection. Don't scalp it, just add it to your collection. Or don't. Whatever. Have a good day. Oh, we got a guest star.